today I prepared a passage, the First King 19, uh, verses 4 to 8. If you can, please open up the Bible or Bible app you have on your phone, or maybe you can see on the screen. I will read it for you. Um, so First King 19, verses 4. But when he himself went a day's journey into the wilderness and came and sat down under the broom tree, and he asked that he might die, saying, "It is enough now, O Lord, take away my life, for I am no better than my fathers." And he said, and he lay down and slept under a broom tree. And behold, an angel touched him and said to him, "Arise and eat." And he looked, and behold, there was at his head a cake baked on hot stone and a jar of water. And he ate and drank and lay down again. And the angel of the Lord came again a second time and touched him and said, "Arise and eat, for the journey is too great for you." And he arose and ate and drank, and went in the strength of that food 40 days and 40 nights to the mount of God. So when I first became the assistant pastor when I was in Chicago, uh, my the length of my message was the 5 minutes. That was my first message. Uh, it's over a little bit longer than that, but I'm pretty sure this is the shortest message of the Salah in history, I think. I checked on YouTube, there's a message of 30 minutes to 50 minutes, but maybe it should be shorter than that. So please pay attention. And yeah, the passage we just read is about Elijah. This is the most depressed moment for Elijah. He was in deep depression and anxiety, most fearful the moment, and it was actually the right after it was right after the great victory that he grabbed against the 850 false prophet who uh, who served Baal and Ash, Baal and Ash, Ash, Asherah, so other gods basically, and also Israelites, they supposed to serve the Yahweh, their God. However, everyone they did idol worship except Elijah. So in we will also talk about the passage on 18, First King 18. So Prophet Elijah came to uh, came in front of all the people and encouraged them to believe God, serve God alone, the Yahweh alone. However, because of the tradition and the culture, they chose to serve both Yahweh and Baal. But in First King chapter 18:21, it says, and Elijah came near to all the people and said, "How long will you go in limping between two different options? If the Lord is God, follow him, but if Baal, then follow him." And the people did not answer him a word. It's similar to this days. People believe that the religions are all the same. All you have to just choose whatever you want to believe. However, there's only one God, as we know. Um, and Elijah, he want he want all the Israelites to believe that serve the God alone and stop the idol worshiping. But they choose not they chose not to choose either Yahweh or Baal. So um, he came up So he wanted to show that God is only God. So he brought all the 850 prophets, the false prophets who served the Baal, and do the burnt offering. So he prepared two bulls, and one for him, one for the false prophet. So whoever answered with the fire, that is true God. So that is the thing. So first, 850 prophets, they built an altar and prepared all except the fire, and they started the worship, pray in the name of Baal, but Baal didn't answer with the fire, and they did it for all day, but they couldn't. They didn't see any answer, so they start harm their bodies and by themselves, but still didn't answer. And this is Elijah's son, and in chapter 18, verse 30, it says, "Then Elijah said to all the people, 'Come near to me.' And all the people came near him, and he repaired the altar of the Lord that has been thrown down." So no one actually took care of the altar of the Yahweh. So the altar was actually broken down, destroyed. So they had to rebuild it. And Elijah took 12 stones according to the number of the tribe of the son of Jacob, to whom the word of the Lord came, saying, "Israel shall be your name." So they want to remind, Elijah want to remind the Israelites that who really God is and who they should serve only. So so they took the 12 stones uh, as a number of the tribes of Israel. So and he built the altar, and Elijah told the Israelites to pour the water, 4 jars of water on the altar. It doesn't make sense because he wants God to answer with the fire, but he poured the water, which is impossible, right? But however, this is the faith of the Elijah, and he want the Israelites to pour the 4 more jars of water, and so not so total of the 12 jars of water onto the altar. Then he called them again, and he prayed. Elijah prayed, "O Lord, O Yahweh, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, let it be known this day that you are God in Israel, and that I am your servant, and that I have done all these things at your word. Answer me, O Lord, answer me, that this people may know that you, O Lord, uh, are God, and that you have turned their hearts back." So it it shows that Elijah is doing this to turn the Israelites' heart to Yahweh, to their God. So then God answers right away. Then the fire of the Lord fell and consumed the burnt offering, and the wood, and the stones, and the dust, and licked up the water that was in the trench. And when all the people saw it, they fell and they fell on their face and said, "The Lord, the Yahweh, He is God. The Lord, He is God." So they confessed that Yahweh, the Lord, the God is the true God. Yahweh is the true God. Before they see this, they didn't uh, want to make decision with whichever side, Baal or Yahweh. But now they know. Elijah wants to show who the true God is, and they saw it and they confessed it. So from this, Elijah recovered. Um, Elijah recovered the faith of all Israelites and broke the idols and the false prophets. So after this event, um, because of after this event, there was no rain for over 3 years in the country. After this, God allowed the rain in the country and recover everything. So he recovered the relationship with God in Israelites and recover the Israelites' faith, and he recovered the land. So after this, the queen heard that the false prophets. Elijah killed all the false prophets, so Queen want to kill Elijah. So Elijah heard of this message and he ran away. It was right after this great victory against the false prophets, and he ran away. Mhm. And he went into the wilderness, the desert, in verse chapter 19, verse 4. But he himself went a day's journey into the wilderness. So basically, going into the wilderness, there's no food, no water. Basically, he wants to die, and he actually asked God under the broom tree that take his life. I'm all alone. I have no strength. This is not. I did enough. So take my life. I cannot handle it no more. It even says, I am no better than my fathers. My fathers, um, the I mean, his ancestors, the Israelites, they did idol worshiping and betrayed God. So basically, he also is not greater than them. So he wants to he's confessing his it's not faith, but his situation. How he want to tell God how deeply depressed and fearful he is. Uh, then when he was laying down and falling asleep, God didn't remind him how great things he did before, like he grabbed victory against the false prophet. He didn't mention that, or um, he didn't he didn't mention that, but he only sent an angel to comfort him. It says on the verse 5, and he lay down and slept under the broom tree, and behold, an angel touched him and said to him, arise. And basically the angel touched and fed him. The touching is not just the shaking up and waking up. It's like the parent is petting the baby when baby is sleeping on the crib at night. They wake up frequently because they are looking for mother or father. Just make sure she or he is not alone, right? So when the baby cry, the parent, father or mom, daddy or mom will go to the baby and give them a hug and petting them, right? So it's like, and then the baby gets calm and comfort. It's like that. God gives Elijah comfort first, and then he feed uh, feed Elijah, which is fulfilling the physical needs, the physical strength. So, and on the verse 6, and he looked, and behold, there was at his head a cake and hot stone and a jar of water. So God prepared all he needs, and he ate it. And then he fell asleep again. For a second time, he sent an angel again, the same angel, and he touched him again, and he fed him again, and saying, and it said, arise and eat, for the journey is too great for you. So basically, when you're in depression or anxiety or any fear, all you have to do is come to the Lord. The uh, reason that God gave Elijah this grace, this restoration, is not that he did a great thing before. It's not that he showed his faith in to God. It's because his identity, the child of God. God called you as a child of God, and because of that, God will give you comfort and healing and restoration when you come to the Lord. Um, but in many cases, for many people, they come to the church because they have problems. They come to the Lord because of this urgent problem, or yes. And then, but I see many people, they live after this problem being solved. I think I cannot say this that is fine, but this is what a lot of people do when they come to the Lord and recover, and they go back to their life and do whatever they want to do, like so. And they come back when they have the problem again, and they 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 pray to God and recover and go back to their do whatever they want to do. But after the restoration, Elijah did something different. And verse 8, and he arose and ate and drank and went in the strength of the food 40 days and 40 nights of Horeb, the mount of God. So from this comforting and the feeding, Elijah restored his strength. When he was wandering in the desert for one whole day, he was so tired that he had to fall asleep and take rest. But by the restoration that provided from God, he could walk to the mount of God for 40 days and 40 nights, no rest, no eating, just keep straight. Yes, this is great strength that he recovered. Yes, like I say, most people, they recover this strength and they go back to whatever they want to, whatever they think it is important to do. However, Elijah went in front of God when he recovered this strength. I think that's what we should do, because we don't have the strength to come to the Lord. He will give us, once you ask God, he will give you the strength. But with that strength, rather than do your own thing, I recommend you to strongly recommend you to go in front of God. At this time, Elijah lay all of his belongings, like his thought, his plan. He didn't have any plan anymore. He didn't have any strength, right? So he had nobody around him. He was all alone. So he has no choice but to seek God. It's similar to Moses. Moses has this covenant when he was a covenant from God since he was a little kid. But God actually started using him at the age of 80, when he found he had no strength at all, no he owned nothing. He was once live in the palace as prince, but he didn't. Yeah, now at the age 80, he was just shepherding the sheep of his father-in-law, and he didn't own nothing. Just yeah. But then God called him, of course, and God called him. God called Moses, but Moses knew the Moses knew that Moses knew himself more than other people, right? So he had no strength. There's other better strengthened people who is smarter, who is younger, has more power, but God didn't use them. The person who has nothing, who laid down everything and went to the Lord. Come back to the passage, First King 19. Um, with this strength, Elijah went to the Horeb, and he received this great commission. He thought he was all alone. However, God prepared 7,000 disciples for him. He told Elijah didn't see any hope in his life, but God prepared him the 7,000 disciples for him and Elijah. And even God won Elijah to raise the uh, kings of Aram and the Israel. So this is the Great Commission, and he found a reason to live again. So let me ask you, do you have the reason to live? Do you have this Great Commission? We all know that God called us for the word evangelism, right? He will use. It doesn't matter if I do or not, right? But he will do it, and through us, right? But do you have individual commission, and do you have the true reason to live, right? It's I know you guys are young, 20s. When I was 20s, I really want to. Well, I thought I can do the evangelism very well when I go to the college because the message told me that I have the light in me, and that light will shine once you go to the field, and it will change the field completely. Okay. So I believe that I have that, but when I went to the college and uh, started doing the like my college life and try to share the gospel, it didn't took place. Nobody wanted to believe God. I didn't know why it was because the message just gave me this covenant. I was very sure that He will do that, but it didn't happen. So I thought maybe it was I didn't have this great experience that other people do. Like when you hear this testimony from other people, they come back from this great problem. It was solved by God, or they was demon possessed and it was healed by the power of God, grace of God. I didn't have that kind of that kind of experience. I was born in Christian family, the pastor kid. I had no, um, yeah, I have no evidence to tell. Some pastor told me that I need to have this story when I go to the field to share the gospel. I didn't have those great experience, so I thought maybe that's the reason, and I don't know. But as you see this Elijah, he had this great experience and great work displaced just right at the chapter 18. All he saw all these Israelites just turn back to came back to God and decided to stop idolizing idol worship. And but even he had this great experience, he fell into deep depression soon after. So even though you have this great experience, it's not the answer. The answer is, who do you have this covenant, this word? Can you come to the Lord, laying down all your will, all your desire, all your wanting? So um so I want throughout this week I want to pray to God. What is the reason for my life? There's more greater people. There's a lot of people who can actually who God can call, right? I mean, have more ability. Like you can see, I cannot speak that well. It's not because of the language barrier. I cannot. My sleep is not. Mm, yeah. Um, there's more people who can speak well, who has more ability, right? But why? Why? What is the reason that God called me? And am I really the right person? Guess what? You're here. You're here and listening the word of God in this church. Yes, you are the right person. So don't worry about that. But you have to find the reason why God called you. It is for sure. Just don't give up, but keep focusing on the word and the worship and the relationship with God. Then one day, when you can lay down all your thoughts and plans and everything, He will show you. He will show you the commission. So I pray that I'll pray that this week will be the, yeah, turning point for you guys. Thank you. Let me pray. Uh, Dear God, thank you for your grace that you called us as your children and the remnant of this age. Lord, let us find the true commission that you give us. Let us find the true reason for our life uh, through the word throughout this week, Lord, through the meditation, through the prayer, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.